I just want to let you know something, man. Please remain on the same pace with the Lord. Like where God is, that's where you should be. He wants us to be on one accord. In the book of Acts, we see that the believers had an outpour of the Holy Spirit because they were on one accord. Even in Chronicles, we see in examples when they were presenting the temple to the Lord in Solomon's day. They said the priests and everyone else in the temple, as they was offering their sacrifice, glory of God came down on them because they were on one accord. Things happen when we are on one accord. When a family is moving in the same direction, when a church is moving in the same direction, when a generation literally have the same desire, which is wanting to see the glory of God move. When we're on that time, we get to see some great results. And I believe God is calling us back to that place of oneness. He's calling us back to that place of being on the same page, having the same desire to want to see him move and wanting to see change take place in our community and in our churches. So I just wanted to remind you, man, be on God's timing. Don't be on that demon time. Don't be on that enemy's time that tear down, that breaks down, that divides people, that cause gossip and bitterness and shadiness to dwell in our midst. We don't need all that. We don't need all that. We just need the unity of God. We need the oneness of God to overtake our lives, right? And sometimes it's going to take you just, taking the L sometimes, not having your way all the time. In any successful relationship, someone has to die to their will. We have to die to our own agenda. We can't always win all the time. And I think the way God has called us to happen is when we function on one accord, where we are on the same time. And if you feel there's a sense of division coming into your home, I want you to know what that is. That's the spirit of the Antichrist, the spirit of the enemy that's coming to divide, that's coming to conquer. But you have the power within you to bring things back into proper alignment. And when you connect with God on one accord, God will begin to bring your whole house on one accord. All right. So you got to become one with God first in order for you to become one with anybody else. If you're divided with God, you can't even get direction on how you're supposed to become one with someone else. Go back to your prayer closet. Go back to the time that you used to spend with God when you first got saved, first had an encounter with God. Go back to that place. Go back to that place. It probably happened back in the 90s or probably in the early 2000s. Go back to that time when you used to spend time with God. This is what God desired most out of you. He wants to spend time with you. He wants you to spend time with him so that you can become one with him and you can have his desires. You begin to hate what he hates. You begin to love what he loves, and you begin to move in the direction that he calls for you. He destines for you to move in. Become one with him and you'll begin to see how things around you will begin to transform. Share the message. Let's go.